Welcome, everyone. And if you are listening to this during the holidays, really, or any time, my wish for you is much satisfaction. And guess what? That is the subject today of my talk. I stumbled into really getting a PhD in the sense of immersion when I said yes to working with some people. And they converged in a different way together. But the subject that I've been concentrating on with so much delight is the subject of satisfaction. And today, my greatest wish is to simplify what I'm going to say to you so much that you're a little bit intrigued and want to know more, because I believe this has great possibility for so many wide groups of personalities, styles, or even human designs. So, in order to really understand, even begin to understand the wealth of possibility in this subject, would you be willing to separate out your English language understanding of the word satisfaction? Maybe come in and as though it was a new word, like in Japanese, and that you didn't know what it meant. Because I had a lot of trouble, and so did all the other experts and professionals and smart people that were in my groups learning this. But it's actually not hard. It's just that our minds get in the way. So let me just use an example first. If you were eating soup and your mouth worked properly, it would not be hard, right? Because, I mean, yes, if you have some kind of problem with working your mouth, or you have a tooth problem and you can't eat on that side, soup could get complicated. Now, maybe you've never thought about this. I have had and have still a bit of a mouth problem because my mouth doesn't seal properly, and my eyes aren't even, and so on, from brain surgery. But that's why I have this example of soup. Soup is actually, if it has chewy things and fiber, or like meat or noodles, something that needs to be chewed, it can be actually quite complicated. So if I were to try to give you instructions on how to eat soup, you chew this, you put it to this side of your mouth, you put it to both sides if both sides work, but not if they don't, and only swallow at a certain, right? You go, oh my God, I don't even know if I want the soup, or I don't even want to learn to eat soup because it's too much, right? I know it's kind of a silly example, but this satisfaction thing could be life-changing for everyone, and maybe even particularly for older people. Can you imagine if the whole culture knew that old people had the greatest potential for satisfaction? Because they no longer are raising kids. Many of them are no longer working, right? No matter their life circumstances. I mean, that's depending on if they are still trained, they don't have dementia. And maybe it's a different story if some version of dementia, Alzheimer's has happened. But for those of us who are still tracking, What if everybody knew and believed and couldn't wait to have the potential of the greatest satisfaction of our lives? So let me get into it, but I'm going to give you just a little today. The biggest stumbling block for me in grasping the satisfaction, because the satisfaction channel of our being is a yes or a no, and it comes from the body. Those of you, and me included, who love our minds, no, it's not good. It's not, we're going to have to ferret out where the mind is contributing for this, just for this. You can use your mind in other areas. But before I get to the simplicity of it, which is yes or no, let me give you the dictionary definition because we're going to be wanting to understand the difference between satisfaction and relief. So hang on here a minute. The dictionary defines satisfaction as the pleasure derived from the fulfillment of one's wishes, expectations, or needs, or the pleasure derived from those things. Pleasure. Now, relief is defined as a feeling of reassurance and relaxation following release from anxiety or distress. Now, the example that I thought of that might begin to help understand what we need to understand here. So don't try and define it, argue with the definition. And when I try and pull them apart, the mind might want to say, well, satisfaction is in both, or blah, blah. Just let that go. You'll get to the satisfaction faster. So just track with me a minute. So let's say you're a student and you're studying for in an area that you really care about. Let's say you want to be an engineer, and this is very sophisticated calculus and physics. Maybe you have two different tests, but let's focus on the one. It's hard material, it's very advanced. So, in the studying of this, there is a tension, not attention. There's a tension, a pressure you're holding because it's hard. Maybe you don't get it right away. You know, you're holding something, you're studying it, you're pursuing whatever needs to happen in your repetitions to try to get it in your mind in preparation for an exam. Now, hold that experience. There is the desire to learn this. Let's say you knew this information and you checked into the body and the body said, yes, do this. And by the way, it's what this kind of checking in is very close to spiritual guidance. So if you're used to going to spirit, your guidance for yes or no, is this ego or is this for me? You're going to be a little bit ahead on this. But if you haven't gotten answers when you've checked in, like yes or no, you get more, I don't know. Hang in there because this is going to serve you as well. So you've gotten the yes from your guidance. Yes, I want to learn this. Yes, I want to be an engineer. Or even if I don't, I really want to learn this. So the desire is there, but you're holding the difficulty. It didn't just come from pleasure. So it's not the same. We're using satisfaction here as not the same as excitement. They could cross over, but we're separating out excitement. It's not the same as I want this. I want this cake. I want this capacity of knowing, let's say, calculus. And I want the potential to be an engineer. That's different from I want this now. So you're holding something, you're holding frustration. All right. Relief. Let's separate this out. Relief. You got an A. There's validation. Only two people got an A. Maybe you don't care about how many got an A. You're just more into the success and the happiness, the joy, the excitement that you got the A. We're calling that relief because I'm going to open up the world for you, hopefully, the way it was opened for me. So let me get to me. Here's what I found out. I can distract myself from my big desires and my holding the pressure of the frustration by either more or now. So holding and waiting, I've been aware as a kind of addictive personality that these were not my strengths. I don't like to be hungry. I like to eat while I'm cooking. I don't like to wait for dinner. I will be in the middle of something, especially if it's scary and I'm not in touch with, oh, I've never done this before, like this particular video. I really care about this. So it might bring up some fear, if you will, that I don't have the words to communicate it well enough to give you my desired outcome for you. Uh, but what I might do instead of attempting one video is go and get another coffee, as though the coffee will give me more courage. The coffee will, whatever, make me feel more, but it will distract me from the passion of my desire to create this video. Are you getting it? Some of you may not be addictive, but there's a short-term release from from relief, from distraction. So some of you, no, I'm not going to tell you how you do it because we'll get lost. But you maybe have already figured out the ways that you back away from holding the pressure. So here's the thing. I was attracted to this information about satisfaction for many reasons, but one was when they started using the word pressure. I went, what? Hold the pressure like it's a good thing? In my mind, pressure and stress were synonymous. Who wants stress? Who wants to hold stress? Come this way, you'll get satisfaction by holding stress. No, it's not stress. Stress and relief go together. And pressure in this new definition, don't try to define it in the English language. Please just go with me because in the end, there are offerings for you that took me probably 6 weeks to gain the excitement and the benefits. So this is not just about pleasure. So when we talk about more satisfaction, it's not just about more pleasure. So my friend had this idea of what she wanted to do for homeless people and the hungry. And she talked to some people about her idea. And pretty soon, the idea didn't happen. And so I don't know if she talked herself out of it with her mind, but she didn't hold the pressure of her big idea. And so it didn't happen. This is not about doing. We are all taking action all day long. We are doing this, or we're doing that, or we're doing nothing, but that's a choice too. So, what are we following? And here's the big point I want to make today. And this is, I think, just an introduction. If you would like more, I can give you a whole lesson, meaning a whole talk, share a lesson I received when one of the teachers gave the examples of how to ask the question of yes or no to get this kind of simplified direction for satisfaction. So if you would like to hear that, please respond with a Y for yes. But I want to show you that no matter what's coming up in your life, even if it feels unpleasant, this morning, I was in a group Pilates class and we were doing something new on the reformers. The teacher was on an empty um, reformer in the corner and she was enjoying herself doing the exercises and not looking. And another time during the class, she was chatting to another person about who knows what, and we're doing the exercise forever. Really not, but you can hear the annoyance. So I say to, she's not some, I mean, I did say, hey, we've been doing this, and then she stopped. But in this example, if I asked myself, which I did, where is more satisfaction when she was over in the corner? Now, I did ask her some questions about the exercise, but it wasn't the time, the place, or the person to give her a lesson on keeping your eyes on the other people. But I did say, what would make this more satisfactory to me? Because you could see I was irritated, so I was not having a good time. The answer was yes, pay attention. Me, pay attention. Yes, go inside the body. Was it yes, talk to her some more, correct her, fix it? No. The answer was no. Don't fix her. Just feel the pleasure of all the muscle groups and just do it safely. Never mind if you're not doing what she's doing. It wasn't all those words. It was no, don't correct her anymore. And yes, the answer is available. You see, the minute I ask the question, what would make this more satisfactory to me? Is it this or is it that? So let's say you're having to go to an event. Maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's another time, and you don't really feel like you want to go, or you have judgment on the people there. An inquiry of yes or no, this or that, you will be lit up with the yes. It's not just direction. If you're speaking to your guidance slash sacral body, sacral is very close to sacred. If you are speaking to your body, you will get a yes or a no. You won't get because and this and that and a whole story. So let's say you're going to this. Is there a way to be more satisfied at this event? Yes. Would it be a good idea to go deeper with someone at the table? Yes. And then if you got a no or that doesn't do it, keep asking the yeses and the nos. Don't, do you see that when you're on the pursuit of satisfaction, it's not about the high of the now, of getting the addictive thing? Can you start to feel how this is a roadway that no matter what's in front of you could be an open door to more freedom, and then, yes, more joy and more excitement about life. But first, and yes, there could even be relief from how you are feeling about your life. But are you starting to see the difference between pressure and satisfaction and stress and relief? So write to me if you would like to come on and be with me on a panel, because I found hearing all the other people in my classes struggle with this and see the light bulbs that come off and how their lives just changed with their business, with their family, with their relationships. It's pretty awesome and has potential for changing the entire direction of our lives. So much satisfaction to you, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Bye for